Hello, we are live. Welcome. Today's going to be a great show as usual, but this is very special because this is Love, Death, and Robots. Season 2 just came out 2 days ago. I have watched every single short in the past 2 days in a random order. We will look at every one of them. I'll tell you my quick thoughts, but this will be mild spoilers. I do not want to go into the spoilers, which, by the way, all of the footage you are seeing now, I went out of my way to get you visually stimulating shots that do not spoil a single thing. So you do not have to worry about that. But overall, I do have to do mild spoilers, which means I will go into the premise. Some of these shorts are extremely short and are pretty much live and die by their premise. So, you know what I mean? You cannot escape spoilers if just by talking about them. So I do recommend the show, and I do recommend you watch them before you even watch this. So yeah, that's my full-on advertisement. It's not the best season of all time, especially because this is less than half of the episodes from season 1, which is somewhat of a big disappointment because it takes away the variety. That's one of the things that season 1 had above season 2 by far, is because season 2 is only 8 episodes. Some of them feel the same just by virtue of them not that there's not that many to begin with. And finally, I will go full spoilers either tomorrow or after tomorrow by doing a tier list of every single Love, Death, and Robots episode from Season 1 and Season 2, from S to C. And very important, there will be only one, and only one, SS episode. Is it in Season 2? Is it in Season 1? You will find out by the end of this stream. So without further ado, like I did, I put all of these in a randomizer to make sure that it wasn't the exact order that Netflix gives you. So yeah, so I could judge them all fairly on their own without one having to follow, you know, an especially harder short. So here we go. So like I said, I went random, so we'll go random here. Boom. Okay, automated customer service. It is a comedy. It is the only one that is comedic in this entire thing. I will find the footage and pause it when it is about the short I am talking about. It's pretty much a retirement home, entirely run by AI, and what that brings, right? That's all I can say, really. But it is the only one that is comedic. Also, its style is borderline off-putting on purpose to further the comedy. And it has a lot in common. There's 2 episodes that have the same exact story. This is one of them. It has a lot in common with the Black Mirror episode Mirrorhead, which is a character being hunted by a AI type thing. Again, to avoid spoilers. So it's that story. It's literally that for the entirety of the short. And because it is so simple, there is no story, there is no characters. It is mostly a comedic slapstick type of deal. Pretty good, but nothing too crazy, which means this is the baseline, pretty much. It's a good short, but nothing more. Hard 7. So that's automated customer service. Next, randomize The Tall Grass. The Tall Grass is the only horror short in the entire bunch. First of all, it has an incredible style, one of the best styles of all of these. It is extremely striking. It looks like a painting come to life. The problem is that because it's a horror short, it spends a lot of time on the build-up, on one big reveal. The problem is that reveal is somewhat underwhelming, and also for a horror short, it is surprisingly not that scary. We also do not know who the main character is or get satisfying answers. So while I was excited that yes, a horror short, especially considering this is horror week and I was supposed to review a horror movie each day, I took a pause for this because this is must watch, right? And by the way, there's no clip of this short so far. It's coming up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And because it doesn't go above its genre, it is another hard 7. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Don't even have to go back to the page. Again, I am very surprised there is no clip. But that's how it goes. I got like 3 clips of every single episode. While it's a lot of clips, that's pretty much 3 times 18, that's like 26. They all pass by quickly, you know what I mean? By the time I talk for 5 minutes, you will have seen every single clip. But still, hasn't come up. Okay, that's it. I played the waiting game and I lost. That's how it goes. The Tall Grass, 7. Next, again, random, boof. The Drowned Giant is, there it is. That's the shot of the last one right there. Right here. Again, the style being one of the best. Same thing right here. But yeah, the Drowned Giant is my least favorite one. Unfortunately, it's the worst one. That's how it goes if you're going to watch 8 of the same thing. And the Drowned yeah, Drawn Giant has a simple premise. It is literally the title. That's all I'll say. And that is all. And it's shown through the eyes of a journalist slash scientist slash philosopher. It is pretty much a simple story being narrated the entire time. And while you watch it, it is you're introspective. Like, it's interesting and it's actually captivating. So you're listening, you're like, whoa, this is interesting, right? But there's no action. And also, in retrospect, in hindsight, it's pretty forgettable. Like, I do not remember a single line, a lesson, or anything special about it, which is why it's the worst one. But it's still not horrible, right? There's still value in it, especially when you watch it as it goes. So because it's the worst one, 6 out of 10. That's the Drawn Giant. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Boom. Okay, All Through the House. This is a Christmas episode. They managed to sneak in a Christmas episode, and to be honest, I could not be more happy for it because it's a perfect tonal switch, and not only that, but it's stop motion. It is the only one that is stop motion, and because of that, it stands out above the rest. Also, the Christmassy vibes, it's good vibes, but it is another horror short that subverts the idea. It's 2 kids, Santa Claus is involved, that's all I can say. And it's also the shortest one. It's literally the shortest short. And because of that, even though what is revealed is great, it still underwhelms overall as a story. So for that, again, it's another 7. While it may seem harsh that all of these are getting like 7s overall, that's because we've been going on random, all the best ones are for last. That's how it goes. Surprisingly, this wasn't supposed to be the case. Okay, Life Hutch. Okay, to be honest, the Hutch part of it all, I have no idea. It's either his name or it's like a play on Hatch. But this one has Michael B. Jordan, okay? And that would not be a big deal. But because it's an animated short, and Michael B. Jordan is a force, okay? He is a legit actor. And of all of these shorts, he's the only one you actually recognize as a person you know in real life. Not only is his character model literally him, there's a clip in here that if you did not know was animated, you would think would be live action. That's how beautiful it is. But again, the story is extremely simple, but extremely effective. It is the other one that is the same as the Black Mirror episode Metalhead, which again is an AI thing dealing with a human, like in action, okay? Again, avoid spoilers at all costs. But the visual right here, this shot, extremely realistic. Like, it looks like live action. It's straight up, you know. And there's a visceral nature to this short, which takes over the shortcomings that are like no story, no character really, but the presence of Michael B. Jordan, okay, and the action being satisfying and being visceral, especially, makes it a 9. Okay, without Michael B. Jordan, it would be an 8, if not lower. Like, his presence, meaning you know this person, right? It would be the same thing if it was, Leonardo DiCaprio or any actor you know and love. So that's why it raises it up. It's kind of unfair that way. But what are you gonna do if you're gonna have Michael B. Jordan? You might as well use him, and they did a good job on that. So finally, we have 3 left. We got Ice, Stone the Desert, Pop Squad. One of these is a 10 out of 10. It is the best short of season 2. Is it the SS? Is it the best in the entire franchise? Again, stick around. Boom. Stone the Desert. I think it's the last episode, but it's probably the biggest in terms of scope. It feels like it's one of the longest ones, and it deals with like man, it's hard. It's like a bounty hunter. It feels like Star Wars Tatooine vibes. Deals with the title explicitly. Right? The series is called Love, Death, and Robots. I believe this short encapsulates all 3 of those as like a tenet, as like a storytelling pillar. And while it is extremely visually stimulating and has some good moments, because it is so long, and to be honest, because it is slightly so generic, it's like all they did was take the theme of Love, Death, and Robots and not truly blow you away with either of them. You know what I mean? It is all 3, but that is all. And for like 16 minutes or something. So while I did like it, it did not blow me away. And to be honest, it's pretty forgettable in hindsight. But still, you cannot deny its quality. A lot of people, it's their favorite. That's why I'm going so much, talking more about it. And this one is an 8. Great. Fantastic stuff. Next. Was it an 8? Yeah. Ice. Ice has one of the most unique styles of them all. borderline looks 2D. And again, I'm very thankful because it stands out, right? But it's also a simple story of like two brothers dealing with high school type stuff, like kid stuff. And that's pretty much it. Like there's no, every other short seem more epic in scale. But what they do capitalize on are the human interactions. This is, by the way, the short that I'm talking about right now. Which they nail. They nail, especially the relationship between the two brothers, which by the end really hits hard, right? And that makes up for the lack of scope, the lack of grand ideas. This is pretty much two young kids trying to prove themselves on a other world. And for that, I believe they do succeed. So, you know, even though it's simple, the relationships make it work. Again, it's all about caring. If they make you care, whatever visuals they are, the caring part will always win. And that's how they get you. That's how stories win. The best stories, the best stories of all time, when you think about what's at their core tenet, is that you care either about the story or mostly about the characters. So this did it big time. And people really don't like this one. Apparently it's one of the worst in terms of score, in terms of consensus. To me, it's one of the best. Gave it an 8. I thought I'd give it a 9, but so be it. And finally, the best one, in my opinion, is, what's the title? It's my favorite one, and I forgot the title. Pop Squad, which, to be honest, is a weird title, considering what it's about. This I have to go into the premise because it is my favorite one. First and foremost, 10 out of 10, okay? That should be enough if you do not want spoilers at this point, if you have been watching, and you know what I mean? The less said, the better. But I do have to talk about it to justify why it's my best, and I do have to spoil the premise, which is one of the most important parts of it all, right? So here we go. Give you 3 seconds. Don't know why I did that, so be it. The premise is, this is a world where adults have chosen immortality. The price for immortality is killing every single child on the planet, okay, for overpopulation's sake. I did not know that fact, by the way, that it was for overpopulation. They do not explicitly say that. It happened to be in the synopsis, and it only made me appreciate it more. So these people, these cops, are sent in to find these unregistered families, usually poor people, and these people want to have kids, because why wouldn't you want to have kids? But this world is an immortal world, and if kids would be allowed to grow, there would be too much people. Gotta kill them. It's literally a world built on killing kids. Extremely interesting, but that wouldn't be enough if the main character did not live up to that premise. And by God, it does. He plays like a main detective, the person who takes care of things. He's the guy, you know what I mean? And what makes this above and beyond the best short of season 2 is the performances. Okay, this is one of the mocap ones where it's like real actors. I believe it's more like it's not mocap, it's voice acting, and then they animated the characters because they do not match the actors' faces. But man, the performances are the best in the entire franchise. And of course, again, lives up to the premise. If you think of that premise, right? And we're dealing with somebody who kills the kids. What does that entail in terms of acting? In terms of situations, right? It's extremely deep. It's not even that long. It's not like the longest. But it is the most impactful. It is both in thought, in terms of impact emotionally. And I'm very thankful for it, because without this episode, this would have been an even weaker season than it is. And it's only weak because of its length. It's only weak because there's less episodes than we wish. And the ones that are there, because there is less of them, the variety doesn't shine through. And sometimes it kind of all bleeds together. There's like 4 of these shorts that have this realistic 3D style. That's half. Half of the episodes have a very similar style, even though it's beautiful, even though it works. There's no denying that it's lacking that special magic that season 1 have. Given that one has like 20 episodes, I believe 18. 18, which is crazy. So yeah, tier lists. Tomorrow, after tomorrow, I will go full spoilers. We will go deep into why each short is better than the last. Again, there is only one that is SS, and like I said, it has been revealed that short is from season 1. There's a season 1 episode that is above not only its own series, but is one of the best things you could watch, period. And to me is a perfect, sorry for the the loud P there, a perfect example of storytelling. Like it truly, and I watched it again just to make sure, and I haven't since it came out. After I watched all these shorts, just to be in my head, like, is it better than all of season 2? It is, and by far. Okay, I won't spoil what it is now, because of course I do want the surprise. But it's in the first 8 episodes of season 1, which means it's not that long. You know what I mean? You can rewatch all those episodes in like 2 hours, and it would be worth it, and it would be cool for the tier list. So it's coming tomorrow or after tomorrow. I will have better clips. It will be a slightly better production than it is now, and yeah, that's the show. Slightly disappointed, but also satisfied in what was given. Overall, still to me a 10 out of 10 show. But man, it's very close. It was very close to be bumped down to a 9, which is not a big deal. And hopefully season 3 will be much longer in terms of number of episodes and variety. And I want to leave you on something very special. I was looking through my old clips, and I have this clip. Sorry, chat. Okay, I have this clip here. Okay, first of all, it's all about the audio. It's all about the audio in the first second. You will see a man pick his nose. Let's do it right now so we get it over with.
Netflix is like making a big...
The man picking his nose does not matter, okay? It's all about what Alex Hirsch is saying. Alex Hirsch is the creator of Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls is one of the top 5 animated shows of all time. That is not by me, that is by consensus. That is what animation fans would say. That is what scores say. This is it's not a fact, but you know what I mean. It's a entertainment fact. And here he's talking about the money. First of all, Netflix came to him, gave him a truck of money. Do whatever you want, literally. We'll see the fruits of that have not yet been seen, but this is what makes me hopeful. Man, this is what keeps me living. Here we go.
Netflix is like making a big bid for animation. They just like noticed like, okay, Disney bought Fox, and so now they have like Simpsons and Family Guy, and Netflix is like, okay, all right, let's go all in. Let's make a bunch of rad shows. We need the next generation of animation, and it's like happening right now. It's very cool to be a part of it. Like it feels really weird. Exciting. Netflix is like making a big bid for animation.
Going all in for anyway, it's crazy. And that's the kind of, when you have that much power and that much money to just be like, the competition has Simpsons, has whatever. We have to have that much at a minimum. So yeah, that's why Love, Death, and Robots exists. That's why Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beast probably exists, which is the newest masterpiece among the best of all time. And countless other shows that keep coming out. Our Lord the Alligator Boy, which is one of my favorites. Mitchell's and the Machines. You know what I mean? Either they pay for them or they make sure they get made because they need to survive the competition. And competition in animation is so good on every single service. Disney Plus, HBO Max, all have their own juggernauts. So for Netflix to compete, they literally have to create new shows from scratch. And I, for one, cannot be more thankful. So yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow for that tier list. As always, Horror Week continues. I have a UFC show tonight, UFC 257, I believe. So if there's highlights, I will show that tomorrow, as well as one of the horror movies I will choose to watch, probably The Djinn, because that was the one I was supposed to watch yesterday. But then, of course, Love, Death, and Robots. So yeah, I'll leave you with that. I wish it's just the dude picking his nose. Okay, let's finish on the dude picking his nose, because why not? You did it on camera. You failed. It is immortalized forever. See you next time.